Hey everybody, Ryan Weeden here with the Hairpreneur Show. Woo! I got some energy today. Just got off a crazy call with somebody that doesn't handle things the best way. And I'm talking about the person that doesn't handle things the best way. It's usually me. Because when I get passionate about something, and that's cover up for when I get too angry about something that might not be going the way I want it to, I get a little frustrated. And unfortunately, at times I can see red, and it's not a place where my best self lives. And I hate that about me. And that's something that I'm constantly trying to do better. I don't think I need these on anymore. I have headphones on. I don't hear anything, so I'm going to take them off. I think that this is automatically recording and taping, but I digress. I'm going to talk about how I manage my own frustration at times and how I am working to better myself so that way when I am faced with confrontation with argumentative people, and also how to negotiate with a cool, calm head. I'm going to talk to you about that in a later episode. I think it's important, especially as our brands and businesses grow bigger and stronger. We're going to have new opportunities that open up for us that we need to be able to rationally and peacefully look at to determine, one, is it a good fit for me, for my future, and for my destination, where I want to go? And two, are these opportunities something that is going to make me feel good? Is it more than just the money? What is it going to allow me to do with more? Am I going to be able to add more value to what I'm currently offering? Because we're in the value business, guys. If we're not providing value to our audience, they have no reason to really come back to us, to listen to us, to trust us. We can't just start to sell something to them without offering something first. It has to be about them, about your customer. We'll talk about more about that in branding as we move forward into next week's lessons. But this episode on simplifying success, we're going to dive deeper into what vision is all about. Let's cue the intro. Here we go. Welcome to the Hairpreneur Show, where hairdressers get the tools they need to make more money, enjoy more freedom, and live a more purpose-driven life. Join me, Ryan Weeden, as I coach you with new ideas, winning habits, and proven strategies designed to unlock your personal greatness. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's go. Vision. We talked about vision last week, roughly, about why we need vision, why we start with vision as the first building block in the 6 building blocks of success. We've got vision, branding, business, social, marketing, and then, of course, the top of the pyramid is the customer experience. And the customer experience is the icing on the cake, because once you have your message with your branding and your business set up, your social skills ready to rock and roll, and how you're going to interact with your audience, then everything else should just fall into place with the customer experience. Every customer will get a great experience. We're going to talk about that, of course, later down the road. It's the top of the pyramid. Vision. Vision is what is going to start us off and get us really focused on where we want to go. What we talked about with vision already in the last episode, if you haven't listened to that yet, I would definitely advise you to maybe take a few minutes, go back. I don't think it's too long of an episode, maybe 15 minutes, but it's the first segment, the first episode in this Simplifying Success series, which will probably be about, 6 to 7 episodes long. Vision is going to answer 2 questions. Vision is going to answer, what do we want and where are we going? Those are 2 questions, but that's the same question. What do you want? Where are you going? Let's just put it like that with a little slash in the middle of it, right? This is going to be your GPS, your what. What do you want? And there are different ways to find out what we want. And do you have to have it mapped out perfectly to every last little detail about your life? No. A lot of times when I am figuring out what I want, it's more about a feeling that we have, a feeling of success, a feeling of having arrived. And you can get more specific as far as, what do you want your life to look like? Where do you live? Do you have a family? Is your family growing? Do you spend your time on permanent vacation? What does your dream look like? Because we need to find out how to get to that dream. Dreams should scare you. It should be bigger than, I just want to make a little bit extra money a month, or I want to have just a little bit more, because it's not really going to push us. It's not really going to light a fire under our butts. We want something that's going to give us a kick in the booty. And in order to do that, we need to have big dreams. We have to have dreams that scare us, that maybe if everything goes great, you're going to accomplish it. We got to shoot for the stars. Worst case scenario, you land on the moon, right? You've heard that saying. Great saying, but we got to shoot for the stars. You only live once, so stop wasting time. Get your hustle on now. Another question it's going to answer: why are you going there? It's important to know what you want, but if your why and why you're doing it, why you want that goal isn't grounded in something that's truthful to you, truthful to your soul, then you're not going to have enough fuel to sustain your journey. You need to tap into why you want to be successful. Now, how do we figure out our what and our why so that we have a more clear vision on where we want to go? And again, this is our GPS. Your what is your GPS. I mentioned that if you get on a plane and you just randomly jump on a plane, not that that's ever possible anymore, but you just randomly jump on a plane with no destination in mind, you're going to circle around, eventually run out of fuel and land wherever you can without crash landing, right? That is, without a GPS, without a destination, you have no direction. You don't know if you're going the right direction. We need that. When we get in the car, plug it into our navigation, that's our GPS. Then the different analytics with how the maps are navigated is going to take us to that destination. It might take a left, might take a right, might go back before you go forward, might go around some hills, through tunnels, but you're still going toward your destination. Once we are clear and more clear and more clear and more clear on what we want, then no matter which direction we veer off to, depending on what happens in our lives, we will always be on the correct path coming back toward our North Star, our GPS. Now, why are you going there? This is your fuel. You've got your GPS, which is your what, and you've got your fuel, which is your why. Once you know why you want to be successful, this is what's going to fuel your journey. When you wake up and you're not excited to wake up that day and there's not enough coffee in the world to get you excited for the day, and believe me, I know this, there are days like this, got a newborn and a toddler, and sometimes you don't get any sleep. And I get more sleep than my wife does. And I still sometimes get barely any sleep. But I got to go up in the morning. I got to go to work. I got to find a way to summon some energy no matter how much I don't want to work that day. And because I know why I want to be successful. That is my fuel. I will go into work and I will get done what I need to get done to the best of my ability on those particular days. That is your fuel. So how do we determine our what and how do we determine our why? Determining what? You can journal. You can talk about your perfect day. Write down in your journal what a perfect day looks like to you, maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Normally, when we dream, we don't dream about things being a little bit better. We dream about big life changes and transformations. That is what I want you to write about, that perfect day. It might seem to you so far off into the future that it's a fairy tale, but that's where I want your mind to be. Think big. You only live once. Think big. Go for the gold, right? I think journaling is a great way to do that. The vision board or dream board, as some people call it. This was one of my biggest tools. And I was going to bring one today. I don't know where it is. I have several somewhere in the garage with images that I put together that give me a visual representation of where I want to go. One of the pictures had a book. And of course I used Photoshop, so I wanted to be extra creative with it. And I digitally put myself on the cover of this book, like this was my book. I want to be the author of a book. What happened? 3 years later, I wrote a book. Sweet Success, How to Make Six Figures in a Salon Suite. I wrote a book. I made a dream come true. It was so awesome. I had everything on there from a particular guitar, dream guitar that I wanted to buy. And you know what? It is sitting on the wall right behind me. It's a dream guitar. Do I get to play it as much as I want? No. But I had imagined that guitar and I got almost the identical guitar that was on my dream board. It's by putting things out into the universe and letting the universe unfold for you. It's about focusing on positivity and using that to help create good, positive energy around you. And by focusing on that, magic starts to happen. Uncovering why. How do we do this? The 7 levels deep or 7 levels of why is one of my favorite exercises. If you go to my ryanweeden.com page, there is in my blog area, I actually have an exercise on there about how to uncover your 7 levels of why. And what this is really, in essence, it's pretty much asking yourself why, like an annoying little kid, like just keep asking you why, and eventually you just lose it and you say, because I said so, that's why, right? But we want to be a little bit more articulate when we get to that 7th answer. And for some reason, if we know that we're going 7 levels deep on this question, 7 levels is usually enough to uncover something that rings very true to our soul. And once we touch on that truthful, soulful meaning for why we want to be successful, why we want that dream to come true, you will be overwhelmed sometimes with emotion. I did, and I've done this exercise several times. I would say I do it about every 3 to 6 months when I need to check in on myself, revisit my goals, because our purpose sometimes shifts. Our goals sometimes change. When dreams actually start to come true for you, then you're going to realize, wow, that's amazing. It came true. What's my next dream? It's good to check in with yourself because your fuel might have changed. You might have to put a different kind of fuel in there, which is your why. Let me explain the exercise, the 7 levels deep of why, or 7 levels of why. The first question you want to ask yourself, and I've got a sheet here, I actually did it again. You're probably not going to see this here, but I'm going to tell you what my answers are and how I arrived at my 7th level of why. So I have this exercise here, and if you go to ryanweeden.com to the blog area and to the 7 levels of why post, I'm going to let you download a copy of this so you can go ahead and try to determine your own level of why, and you'll be amazed at what you come up with. The first question you want to ask yourself is, what is important to you about becoming successful? And of course, this is a very surface level question, so I'm sure that my answer might be similar to other people's answers. My answer was, and especially for other entrepreneurs, my answer, I want to make millions of dollars. Okay, well, that's cool. I do want that. That's what I want, right? But then you ask yourself, okay, why is it important to you to make millions of dollars? And then you start to think a little bit deeper than that surface level answer. My answer for this, I want to make millions of dollars because I want financial freedom. Why is it important for you to have financial freedom? Well, the answer is simple to that now, to live life on my terms. You go down and ask yourself the same question, rephrasing the previous answer. Why is it important for you to live life on your terms? Because I want to spend more quality time with my family. I can see we're starting to get more to the heart of things. Now we're on level 5. Why is it important for you to spend more quality time with your family? My answer, to experience the once in a lifetime richness and joy that comes with being a parent. Then I start to feel that it's resonating even more. Then I ask myself the 6th level, same question again. Why is it important for you to experience the richness and joy of being a parent? And I answered, so that I can focus on being a role model. Why is it important for you to be a role model? So that I can give my kids as many advantages in life as possible. And I swear to God, every time I get to that 7th level of why and I get that answer, I start to feel my eyes tear up a little bit because it starts to mean something to me. It's so much more different than when we started, where it was, I want to make $1 million. Isn't that quite a bit different than so that I can give my kids every opportunity possible in life? And I think about how difficult life is and how difficult it can be. And especially looking toward the future, it's a little scary. I want to make sure that they have as many opportunities as possible going forward and advantages going forward. So this exercise is awesome. And I got to say, this is completely different than the exercise that I completed doing the same exact exercise 6 months ago, because a lot's happened since then. We've gone through lots of quarantining. We've had to shift and pivot our businesses quite a bit. We've had a lot happen this year in 2020. And with that shifting of our lives and our daily practices and routines, sometimes we have to shift on what we want in life and what we want out of life. Doesn't mean I didn't want anything to do with my kids in the last one, which it was still centered on my daughter at that point, but now I have kids. Since then, I had one kid, now I've got kids. Now I'm like legit parent. So that is an exercise. Go to ryanweeden.com and find out what your fuel is. The 7 levels of why. You'll love it. Spend a little bit of time with it. Grab a grab a joint or something. It's, if you get stoned and do it, I swear you're going to really uncover some stuff. One thing I've learned is don't smoke the whole joint, just a little bit to unlock your genius. And past that, you're just going to be craving chocolate. At least that's what I did. Chocolate. So do that. Do whatever you can. Get some tea, get some whatever it's going to listen to some Enya. Focus on that exercise, because once you start to really tap into your own fuel, you will be literally amazed at how much more purpose you have each and every single day. I hope you enjoyed this lesson here today. The building block of vision, really breaking that down. Go to ryanweeden.com, as I said, to the blog area if you want to get those awesome downloads, the exercise, the 7 levels of why. I want to see you guys grow. I want to see you guys have more purpose and passion in what you do. And the more purpose and passion that you have, the more opportunities you're going to see flourishing in front of you. It's going to change your life. And I want to help you to do that, because once you start to tap into your full potential, the world is your oyster, as I say, and you're going to have more richness and more joy in your own life, more freedom on your schedule, so you can spend it however you want. Thank you guys so much for listening today. It means everything that you actually download this, listen to it, and actually listen to the whole thing to see what I have to say every episode. If you get a chance, I would love to hear from you, because the world of podcasting is very strange, where you don't really know who's listening. You don't see who's watching you like you can on Instagram. If you could go ahead and subscribe so you get this download every week, I would greatly appreciate that. I would love to keep doing this, and it's your support that gives me fuel to keep moving through this. As well, if you have a chance to do a review, give me a nice recommendation. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Take a picture of this if you're listening on your phone. Post it on your social media. Tag me. I'll repost it. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. See you next week.